never thought we would be standing outside of a place like this, but our 17-year-old daughter has decided to do something, so we're here doing it with her. We're gonna take you along with us.
Well, they're not doing it with me, they're watching me do it.
Okay, we're watching.
We're paying
her
for
do
it.
We're gonna take you along with us. I'm signing your life away. Well, I'm not sure if any of you have caught on yet, but Emerson is actually at a tattoo parlor. This is something that she's been wanting for several years. This is something that Stan and I thought long and hard about, and we are very confident in our decision to allow her to get this. She turned 17 last week, and this was kind of her birthday present. So I'm going to take you along with us. Are you ready, Emerson?
I'm just nervous that I'm gonna jerk.
Don't jerk.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start you out with a little line.
Okay.
Okay? And we can go on from there, alright?
Little hands here.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't hurt me, because then I'll jerk.
Absolutely. Alright, there's a little line, okay?
Okay.
It's okay, you're good. Just listen up.
You good. Keep going.
All right.
Good deal.
Fire. My
So
hand
that
is-
wasn't unbearable, right?
No, it's not unbearable.
There you go.
Close.
Alright.
Okay, Emerson, tell us what it feels like.
It just feels like a needle just going like into you, and it's going deep, and it's just digging around in there.
Digging around? Oh, that's a good,
Oh wow, that's
good explanation of it.
It's just like, and it kind of feels like something like an animal scratching you. You know, like the Stella taking her little claw and just, you know. It's bearable though.
yeah.
Bearable.
I have heard.
You will definitely want to stick around for the entire vlog, because in a few minutes Emerson and I will sit down and we will give you the details on what tattoo she wanted, why it means so much to her, and why on earth were Stan and I okay with allowing her to get this specific tattoo. Emerson is always so impressive in how she handles pain. Sometimes we say that's a good thing, and sometimes we say that could be a bad thing, but she definitely can put on that stone cold face and just kind of power through it. And she went into this really expecting the worst, and so she came out pleasantly surprised. After the first 3 or 4 minutes of just kind of getting used to what getting a tattoo feels like, she really did an amazing job. We kept conversation going. She was texting some of her friends and even FaceTimed a couple of them, and so it was really a great experience. We shared a lot of laughs. I'm just really thankful that I was able to experience this with her. It was a lot of fun.
Avina, ¿qué?
So,
Who are you talking to?
Checha.
Hold on, he's gonna take
Avina, ¿qué? Mira. Mira, ¿te gusta? ¿Te gusta? ¿Qué? ¿Te gusta? No. Sí, me gusta. Sí me gusta. Es para mí, para ellos.
Emerson, hold it up. Let me see, babe.
Está para mí.
Beautiful.
Está conmigo. No,
Okay, we are done and we are back home. We couldn't talk a whole lot in the tattoo shop because there was loud music going on. What do you think about your tattoo?
I love it.
Can you want to show everybody?
It's kind of sensitive right now.
Yeah, we got tape
But it
around
says-
it. Okay, so I know many people are probably thinking that we are crazy parents letting our 17-year-old get a tattoo, but Stan and I feel like we make wise, logical decisions. And this is one that we are completely comfortable with and completely okay with. And if you're not okay with it, that's okay with us. But we're okay with it. Okay, so tell everybody, why did you want this specific tattoo?
Okay, so I started wanting this about 2 years ago. Like, I started thinking about it because the first time that I went on my first mission trip to Guatemala, there was the person was preaching in Spanish, and I didn't speak any Spanish at the time. And then he was preaching about like making disciples and stuff, and whenever he said go make disciples in Spanish, I heard it like extremely clearly, like almost it was in English. And I felt like that was God's way of kind of telling me, like, obviously he calls everybody to go make disciples, but with me it was like specifically, I want you to go on mission trips and do that kind of thing. Sorry, I look weird because I can't bend my hands, so I'm like this. But I look crib. But so I've wanted it for about 2 years, but I'm like, my parents aren't gonna let me get a tattoo at 14. So I waited and thought about it.
Well, you're 17 now, so that was technically about 3 years ago. 2.5 years ago.
That's true. It was about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. So whether you travel the world or not to spread the gospel and do mission trips,
it'll still have a big meaning.
As Christians, we're to go and make disciples, right?
Yeah.
No matter where we're at. So for us, it had significant meaning. It wasn't like this specific season of life that she's walking through, and she went and tattooed it on her body. This is going to be like her mission statement for her life. So that is why we were completely comfortable with it. I say completely comfortable. She's been talking about it for a year or two. I mean, you've been talking about it for a while.
With myself, but I seriously brought it up to them only a few months ago whenever we were at the beach.
It's been way longer than that. It was last year.
No. Because I had talked about it, but I seriously asked them, like, very specifically, like, will you let me for my birthday this year? I had always talked to them about it. Oh, yes, yeah. But very specifically, I was asking for, like, a final answer just a few months ago.
Yeah, so she turned 17 a few days ago, so... Again, we don't necessarily think that all 17-year-olds should go out and get a tattoo. This doesn't mean that all of our kids, when they say they want a tattoo, they're going to go get a tattoo. This is very subjective and a very individualized situation. And so we felt like she has a very good head on her shoulder. She has a very good head on her shoulders. She knows what she wants.
I do.
Even at a 17-year-old, trust me, I know there's still lots of growing to do and all of that, but... Stan and I were both on board with it, and we thought about it for quite a while. So
I originally wanted it on my foot because in my mind it made sense, as in your feet are what lead you to make disciples, which God leads you to make disciples through your heart, but your feet are obviously like what gets you to the place.
What physically takes you on the journey.
Right, what physically takes you on the journey. And so I started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, it just makes sense and it's cool in my head, but nobody's gonna see it. And I'm not saying I want a tattoo so people can see it. I'm saying I want people, since it's in Spanish, a lot of people aren't gonna be able to understand it. And so I want people to be able to ask me about it, and I'm gonna be able to start the conversation with them and start talking to them about God and start telling them about what it means to me and what the Bible says about it. And so that's why I wanted it on my wrist, so like people could see and it could like spark up a conversation about it, because nobody's gonna see it on my foot, and I want to be able to see it every morning that I wake up, and on my foot I don't want to have to be like this, every morning. No, thank you.
No, thank you. We don't love feet that much. I mean, you got pretty feet. But...
That was another thing. I didn't want the tattoo artist to see my foot.
Tattoo artist was awesome. I thought his name was Wes, so I kept calling him Wes, but his name was Mr. Hermit.
Completely different.
Completely different, but it's okay. But he was very talkative.
He was very nice and very
very nice. He's very much a perfectionist, which I guess a lot of if you're a tattoo artist, you need to be a perfectionist. But he said he gets a little anal about it.
Yeah.
So he took his time on it, and we had to kind of redo the design a few different times.
Which I would rather him be a perfectionist and take a while on it.
Yeah.
Rather than someone just go over it and then it start fading just a couple months later.
Or it not be exactly what you wanted.
Right. But
so you handled that pain really well. Mm-hmm. You strong.
Strong.
You're so strong. Okay, tell us, like, what did it feel like?
It kind of hurt. Like, it hurt. I could feel it, but I'm good at, like, keeping a straight face and not moving or anything during pain. So it's like, it hurt, but it's bearable. It's not something that you want to like jerk away from.
Yeah.
So
And like I said, the tattoo artist was very talkative. We all just kind of kept conversation going so she could keep her mind off of it. And she was...
And he was good about doing a few lines and then picking up for a minute. And then, so he wasn't just like going and going and going and going, making it unbearable. Yeah. He was good about like doing a couple letters and then letting it up to give me a breather and then doing it again.
And it only took, from the time he actually started doing the actual tattoo, it only took like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It really was not a long time at all, because it was a very simple tattoo.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm happy with it.
Yes.
I'm happy. Now I get to go show Padre.
And so Stan, we were actually going to do a daddy-daughter tattoo date. But, because Stan's wedding ring keeps coming off when he's working and stuff, and so he was just going to get a tattoo on his wedding finger. We weren't quite sure what we're going to put on it yet, but they said due to COVID restrictions, they can't tattoo on the hands and on the neck. But they could tattoo on her wrist. Just crazy. So maybe we'll go back once COVID restrictions have lifted and Stan can get his little tattoo on his finger, and I think Addison wanted one too. I mean, we're just going to be a tattooing family.
Yeah, you got to get one next.
We're such... I don't know.